Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to FSB Racing Live, Friday Night Winston Cup Series. I'm your host, Shawn Reapin, in the booth once again, back from his night job. We got Milt Minter Jr.
Chicago, baby, my kind of town.
Chicago. I got my Chicago Resistance shirt on from Star Wars Celebration this year. So, you get the Rebel logo with the Chicago flag colors. Figured it was appropriate for tonight. And, yeah, this is a fast track with the CTS physics, real stable setup compared to what we've had in years past. So I expect lots of drafting, a lot of teamwork, co-opetition, as DW likes to say, or was that Larry Mack's phrase? I forget. Either way, draft comes into effect here, but tire wear also comes into play with these high speeds and the truck physics. And getting right to the grid here, Dan Irvine, 27 car, back on Friday nights, puts it on the pole. Rick Bisconner outside in the 109. Isaac Johnson, 72. Puts it P3. Pops Margison, 99 car, 4th spot. 5th spot, Bob Dixon in the 43. 54, Billy Yarbrough. The 9 of Ken Hansen. 10, Dennis Chambers, who's just been lighting the series on fire since he got here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think he's finished lower than 3rd in any of the starts where he's actually been running at the finish since he got here. So, yeah, that's between Tuesday night's Chicken Run series and here on Friday nights. So look for him to move to the front tonight. John Doucette, the number 9 car. I'm sorry, in the 9th spot in the 6th car. Will Farmer, 95, P10. Rick Castle, Jeff Habeck, Den Francesconi put up a qualifying time. Our featured driver from the California race looks like he's going to run tonight, too. Starting lucky 13th in the 16 car. We got someone asking, where's Filmer? Well, there he is. He's 10th spot. That'd be Will Farmer. Dan Jones, 007, 14th. Bill Farmer, our series sponsor. And Will's dad. In the 06 car, puts it 15th. Ed Fowler, the Chicken Man's running tonight. He's got the Bojangles machine fired up, ready to go. The 05 is P16 on the grid. Keith Cordier in the 25 Folgers Coffee Ride will start 17th. Brad Otto rounds out your cars that put a qualifying time on the board. It's a 31 car, 18th. Then we got John the Dog Palmer. Mark DeSenza choosing to skip qualifying, as he tends to do, along with Jeff Hale, Jim Gately. 3 teammates all hooked up. That's exactly what they were looking for. Sam Young, Evan Castle, Chet Barkin. And yeah, I think that's it for cars actually starting. So, now we get to the part where we jinx somebody. Yeah, I tried to use reverse psychology last week when I was driving while you were off tiling at night.
Yeah, I was good. Yeah, boy, you don't even want to hear about that.
I tried to pick Rick Johnson to jinx him. It didn't work. Hey, we got Doris Gately checking in, cheering for her boy Slim. So let's not jinx Slim Jim tonight. Let's make Slim off limits and not kill his chances. I'm gonna
power the dark side.
I'm gonna go with who's hot right now. That's Dennis Chambers in that 10 car. He won the Tuesday night Chicken Run. He's proven hard to beat so far in all of his starts. So let's go with the 10.
Sounds like the old lady's got a cough there, bro.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to go, and he's going to hate me for this, but I'm going to go with the 54. Billy Yarbrough, some bad luck, got wrecked out of a couple races, and starting 6th place. I see him slowly moving up and executing and getting it done. Billy Yarbrough.
He could use some better luck, that's for sure. He's had some hard luck finishes this season so far. Or lack of finish entirely.
That's racing.
That is racing. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Dan Irvine, I know it in practice, was talking to him, and he was saying that he couldn't keep off of people, and the practice format with guys doing different driving strategies, testing, pit stops. Probably just got caught up in a few things there, and But like I was telling him, that could be good if you back it down a couple inches there. You might be able to survive and get to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And as noted, tire strategy, pit strategy, all these things usually come into play even at these really fast tracks where the draft also comes into play.
When you look at qualifying, you look at these studs that did not qualify. Sins of Hale, Gately, Castle, unless they wrecked, and Chet Barkin.
I
These guys
sincerely
are
doubt that they
obviously,
wrecked.
they're purposely definitely staying behind, expecting something to happen early, which in this two different type of corner track, 1 and 2 is way different than 3 and 4, and high line, low line, or should I say mid line and low line. Those are the choices you need to make between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, I personally like to get in a little lower into 3 and a little higher into 1. Some guys can really make the high arcing entry work in turn 3 at these D ovals, but I've just never been able to do it myself. See, the FSB pace car is ready to pick up the field on pit road.
Drivers.
Well, in my experience at this track, which I did get a second right behind Slim Jim Gately in the trucks back in the day, and that was probably one of the most funnest and best races I've ever had in my stock car career or stock truck career. And I made no mistakes, stayed right behind him, and guess what? He made no mistakes. We started first and second and finished about the same distance away from each other. Most satisfying stock car race I can think of in a truck. But in other divisions, this one, and I struggled, this definitely...
I think you probably remember when you were broadcasting with Greg still, and I almost got my first Winston Cup win here. Me and Ken Hansen banging doors across the line. I led the white flag lap, and he got me by inches at the checkers, which was then followed by me going head first into the wall, absolutely demolishing the car.
As we were all screaming.
Yeah, you were screaming. And then I was sitting there with my head against the wheel like, what have I got to do to win one of these things? And then you dragged me up to the booth. So, but here we go. Pace car is off, and we're ready to go racing, folks.
Everyone has said that the setup is way easier to drive than the ones we've had here in the past.
Absolutely. This one's real stable. Slim Jim worked on it.
As he does.
That's why we call him the professor. Should be the doctor. He's working on the sets like that.
Another guy that's won at this track is whoa, they get close. That's
oh boy.
Dan Francisconi.
Oh no.
The short rate, and they're wrecking behind, coming back to the line. There should be caution.
Oh, 25 looks like he got down to the apron. Oh, and
it is.
All 3 of the checkered flag cars, Slim Jim Gately and the 23, the 29 of Jeff Hale, and the 3 of Mark DeSenza, all involved in that incident.
Oh, trying to stay back and avoid the wreck, and they become the wreck.
I just happened to glance left at my laptop, which functions as camera 2 here. And I saw that happening right in front of me.
I'm rewinding it on my live feed to watch it.
Oh, here we go. I found it. That is pretty much as I said there. See, 25 just gets in. He didn't quite get to the apron. Oh yeah, he did. He shot down the apron and came up.
He found the apron and he came up in the slim there. Slim had nowhere to go. And then he took out Dog. And then DeCenza was trying to slow down, but he got tagged by the Folgers car coming off the wall there.
Jeff Hales almost stopped when he found.
Not sure about Sam and Evan Castle there. I think they might have made it through clean. Oh, Hale hammered too there. Wow. DeCenza was on top of Hale there for a minute. Significant damage for many cars. Oh, we'll see what Slim does here.
Take a look at Dog's involvement here. And yeah, Dog had nowhere to go in that 108 car as the 23 bounced off the wall. Keith Cordier has retired. No surprise considering how hard he hit.
Cars coming back in. There's a Hale all lined up together with Slim Jim Gately. We'll have to see how much damage they got and how much work. Sam comes out. He missed all that.
25 and the 108 have
Hale out
retired.
first with that group.
Yeah, looks like Dog must have taken some engine damage on his contact with Slim Jim. Slim
Wow, lots of work for the 3 and the 23 still. Slim Jim still in.
He's being towed. He's being towed, if I'm not mistaken there. And so he's lost at least a lap so far.
This is as bad as it gets. 3 car had significant damage there, but must have engine okay, so he's going to keep going.
Engine okay, and I don't know if the 3. I don't know if the 3 made nose contact. So I don't remember if he just got turned. That's the key. You don't want the nose bent up, because aero damage, track like this, is just going to kill you all night long.
Your leader, Dan Irvine, have yourself a Miller. Biscuit.
That's a new one.
P2.
Yeah, your top 4 or 5.
That guy in third there.
Your top 4 or 5, pretty much exactly where they qualified. They just kind of fell in line.
Isaac Johnson's had some contact the last few races. Obviously, he's not going to want that this time. A little more passive thus far. But we know he can turn it on. Definitely doesn't want to get into anybody, as it's happened, and that's racing, but sometimes it goes in waves. He's had so much great success, and then sometimes it just doesn't happen. That's especially when you're fast, it's a balance you're always constantly looking for. Aggression versus and also luck,
Gotcha.
Sometimes stuff just happens,
I'm looking over Mark DeCenza's car right now, and I think he might be okay.
He was in the pits a long time, but he got all that damage fixed, so...
Important things I'm seeing is I don't see spoiler damage, and I don't see any extra gaps on the front fenders. Between the hood and the fenders. That's usually an indication of some aero damage.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, Slim.
There we have
I swear neither
Gately.
one of us picked you.
Man, what a quick night, huh?
Indeed.
Just nowhere to go, obviously.
Yeah,
pretty much. And it sucks, for the 25. He definitely didn't want to do that, but he caught the apron and shot up into you, so.
Yeah, I didn't see it happening until it was too late, and I saw him coming up, and I backed out of the throttle a little bit, but just not enough. I went back and watched the replay a minute ago, and you're right. He hit the apron and came right up into him. It's sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, we saw you just had absolutely nowhere to go. It's definitely a tough break there. Was the engine pretty much killed on contact? Pace car's off, by the way.
I had about 60-second pit stop, and I had nothing to gain, so I don't know what I was doing.
Absolutely. I did the same thing.
Yeah, understandable. tough break. Come back and get them next week. We got Bristol and Indy left to go.
Well, Mom says hi. She's here cheering for you again, and just win some, lose some, won a lot.
Yep, I guess
next week.
Mom, you can go to bed early tonight.
Well, riding on board on the right side here with Dennis Chambers on this restart is to see Isaac Johnson making a pretty quick move on the 109 of Rick Pisconer. And now he's getting to work on the 27 of Dan Irvine, taking no time here, jumping to the lead. So what was that you were saying about patience and less aggressive tonight there, Milty?
Well, yeah. Now you've had a couple of runs, though, so these guys know what their cars can do.
No, they don't. This is the first run lasted 3 corners.
Yeah, they did. So they almost had a couple of runs, and now they know what the car can do.
You're getting rung up for that one, bud.
Obviously, I don't know smack, you know, but it sounds good. A little arrow push, but now 3 and 4 here is different. Maybe ride the brake a little bit. These cars pretty much probably not those you can lift and get out of it and roll.
Let's see, about to go 3 wide in front of him. Oh, here goes Bob Dixon around.
Just barely clips the 10. I don't think that's going to be anything major. Let's see what happened behind.
I think he managed to scoot through that.
It was very close. Obviously, you've seen one move he had, and the yellow is out. And he made a little twitch. That's all he could do. That's a bullet that just went by, and he just dodged that. Let's see what happened here.
Yep, getting it dialed up here. At first glance, it looks like the 43 and the 9.
Oh, the 9 and the 43 got together, yep.
Yeah, they just had a little disagreement over occupation of a certain spot of real estate here.
From the angle I just saw it, I'm not sure what happened there.
I think he might be okay.
Win and win, baby.
Yeah, Bob should be okay after that, as long as he didn't
Okay, I'll watch
hit
your
the
replay.
apron too hard there and damage the splitter. But from the looks of it, it looks like when Ken Hansen went down...
Oh my gosh, that's a Danny Sullivan right there, except times 2, and he goes away. Everybody misses him. Wow. You know, they talk about you have no control, but you do have awareness. You know where you're spinning and where you were at. Of course, in that case, he's basically just staying on the brakes and then lifting as he feels the car start to pirouette. But that's mostly luck. I don't think the 9 realized. Thought he had a little run there, and I think the 43 kind of got out of it a little in front of him, and he wasn't expecting that. That's what it looked like, just watching the replay.
Well, another thing you gotta be careful of when you go down to the apron here, on the on this track particularly, also Kansas, Nashville, the D ovals and the add-on cookie cutter tracks. Is the spotter sometimes clears you as soon as you cross over that apron line. It no longer considers you on the racing surface, so it'll call clear high and it'll call clear low to the other car. And it looks like he thought he had the room coming up, but then when he got his wheels back off the apron, he was not clear, and that's when he made the contact. Now, it's something I warn about in the drivers' meetings, and I'm sure it was gone over tonight, but it appears to have bitten Ken Hansen there. If I'm him, I would be racing under the assumption that that was on me, and I think, again, the unofficial broadcaster call here, non-binding, I'm gonna have to put that one on the 9. Because he's the one who went down there, and he's the one whose front end made the contact. But, yeah, it's just one of those bang-bang plays that can happen here.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's legal to go to the apron. Oh,
Has
sorry.
lost the lead here.
Yeah, with Isaac Johnson.
Isaac Johnson taking it over under stops here, which we didn't catch, but
No, he took it under green before the caution. He took it on the first lap of the restart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
He just held it through the pit stop, which is impressive with Dan Irvine having that first pit stall. It's hard to beat the pole setter out of the pits in these tracks.
One, Hansen has nailed it and come out. Obviously, no damage there, and yes, he knows he makes contact with another guy. He's probably gonna have to park it. So, but that's still, he could win this race without doing that. I'm sure he feels bad, but you're still within the rules now. You still got a chance to win. You got a race to win. You wreck again, you park it. Rick Castle sneaking up there. Staying out of trouble. Slowly moving his way up. Getting in contention. Nice run thus far for Brad Otto in 8th there.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of pit shenanigans he pulls on us this week. He told me he's always got a plan. I said, I know you've got a plan, and I can usually figure out what it is. I just don't always agree with it. But one of these days, he's going to make a monkey out of me. And steal one of these things with his crazy pit strategies.
So.
He won the Talladega race. Yeah, so that was definitely a big moment for Brad, one of the highlights of the season. For us, we always like to show a first-time winner.
John Doucette, P4. So watch out. Let's see what the 72 does now in clean air. Been holding back a little bit, not very much. Passed for the lead, so that's not really holding back.
No. Clean air is definitely a different animal than being in the draft around these places. One of the things really obvious from that reverse camera angle there that I've switched to is that the backstretch here at Chicago is curved.
Oh boy, Doucette gets loose there and then gets
a
around.
little piece of wall.
And that's Brad against the wall, I think.
Looked like Doucette got a piece of the wall.
Okay, Doucette. Dennis Chambers back on the charge. No harm, no foul, no blood, and about time to do what I've been doing since I joined up here. That's moved to the front.
Doucette has fallen way
boy,
back.
Mr. Bojangles on the apron.
Hangs on to it, though.
Fowler. Ed Fowler sideways. And
You know, we got battle for the
that'll
lead
make the
again.
sticker packer, better check your drawers there, man.
Oh, the 3 and the 06 get together. 06 hard to the outside wall. 05's around. 99 into the 29. Oh my goodness. Big cluster on the backstretch. That should bring out the caution, and yes, it has.
We're seeing a lot of apron that we don't want to see with grown men here. That's the difference of the two corners. You try to dial your steering ratio in to where you get good turn off 3 and 4, but then sometimes when you get down on the bottom, it can make you oversteer in 1 and 2.
So there's the replay. What happened there? The 3 got into the 06, and then the 05 reacted to that, and that just turned into a big chain reaction. And I think Brad Otto blinked out of the middle of all that.
Wow, yeah, uncharacteristic this season for the 3, and that is very characteristic wobble. Of course, he had some damage, so his car was.
Oh yeah, that was another apron shot. Yeah, he caught the apron right before coming up into the 06.
Yeah,
And then the 99 into the 29. Has the 31 even rejoined us? I think the 31 got dropped. Yeah, I can't even find him on the track after that point.
Bam!
Tough luck for everybody there. Bright Auto just happened to have
the hard leg. There's Miller all over the inside of that car.
Well, I guess at least it's not Budweiser, right? That might make you cry.
Francisconi having to get around the 007 there. Folks, you know how hard that is with the steering wheel. He's using hand controls and does a beautiful pirouette job there. It just never ceases to amaze me what this guy does that we take for granted. I mean, everybody wants to win races, but for him to just function out there like he does is magical. It really is.
Yeah, really.
It just blows me away. I had the privilege of just watching him get his way around the car there. And, you know, if you didn't see our broadcast a couple weeks ago, Sconi.com, take a look at what this guy does for a living, which is paint beautiful portraits. And also, in his spare time, he sim races, paralyzed from neck down.
He referred to himself, I believe, as a C4 quad, or quadriplegic. He has limited motion but no feeling in the back of in his right hand, so he uses the back of his right hand to rock balance on 4 keys, as he described it. It's
well,
astounding.
It seems like every time I talk about him, then he has bad luck, but you still got to talk about the guy. It's just
absolutely
incredible. There's just no way you can't. And just watching that little sequence right there was magical. You know, way back in the day, I think the first time I saw sim racing was Dan Smith, the former co-founder of FSB. At the beginning, had a Windows. I don't even know what it was, but he had a keyboard. He goes, "You want to drive around the Daytona?" And I drove around with the keyboard, A B A B A B, back and forth, left right, and it was so hard. And for him to have to do that with all these guys driving with steering wheels, brakes, left and right. How else you could describe that?
Well, I transitioned to sim racing from flight sims. So I started with my joystick and
like that. Everybody went ooh, and we were doing a LAN party, which I had no idea. Fortunately, I had some smart friends, and that was my first sim race. Was watching Jim Ray kick our butts. I was in the lead, you know, but then I couldn't figure out how to pit, and I'm yelling at the little 13-inch screen. Why the F can't I pit? What is wrong with this game? No, it's not the game. It's you, buddy.
Yeah, a lot of games
there,
back
man.
then would take control when you went into the pits.
I was hooked right then. I wanted to sim race.
Well, it looks like we had some cars stay out here. The 95 and the 54 pulled some pit strategy to get around our 27 and 72. They either stayed out or did a different pit strategy this time around.
Varying degrees of damaged vehicles here, which can intensify the caution count.
Yeah, hopefully not, as Will Farmer takes us back to green. 54 Bill Yarborough falling behind him, with Dan Irvine beat Isaac Johnson out of the pits with that #1 spot, as I was mentioning before. Finally taking advantage of that, but he's still got to get around these guys in front of him. Meanwhile,
damaged, and Chet lays way back, so those other cars, that's the damaged crew, I think.
Yeah, you got to figure John Doucette in the 6 has some right side damage. Will Farmer. Oh. Wow, I don't know if Billy Yarborough knows how close that was, but
The huge fan following for Phil Warner is growing and blossoming in the YouTube chat as we speak. These guys want results here, man.
Well, their boy's got his hands full right now trying to stay in front of this pack as he is falling back. He got way loose off 4. He almost hooked the 54 on the right side, but held on to it. Everybody, now he's loose again off 4. He wants to get off that high side pretty darn quick, I'd think.
Gotta back it off and roll early. Pick your roll point earlier and let it roll. Back it off and get control, and then you can try to work back up to a faster speed. But a couple moments, you don't just keep challenging that. You got to back it off no matter how much room you lose if you want to survive.
Absolutely, and I think he's found his groove now, and he's back at it. Meanwhile, we got 72 making a move again. I don't know what car my advance was stuck on there, but there we go. Yeah, Dan Jones in the 9 car, lurking back there with the 10. The 007, rather.
But he needs to stay in that draft. He's using the all the way down to the grass, which is legal. And he is coming. You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to win. Kachinga on the outside there, he keeps finding himself out there, and it's no bueno. Oh, and he darts back in front of the 10 and goes down to the apron. Wow. That was a pucker moment right there. Dennis Chambers. We've seen him start from the pole. We've seen him win races. We're seeing the whole package. Right now we're seeing patience. I'm very impressed with this guy. This guy is a real deal right here.
Meanwhile, 3 car must not be hurt that badly because he's hanging tough. Looks like 3rd spot right now.
But he's got a gaggle of cars. Rick Piscotto's been tough all night. Doesn't want to give that spot up. But here comes Phil Warmer.
Ooh, Dan Jones down on the apron. Hangs onto it, keeps it out of the wall.
Or Wilmer.
Yeah, Dan Jones saved the car but lost a bunch of spots here. He's fallen back into the clutches of the damaged cars. The 6 car, John Doucette's got to have some right side damage, I would think, after getting stuck up on the wall before. Ooh, Dennis Francesconi and the 05 of Ed Fowler made a little contact on the front stretch, but no harm, no foul. Everybody's going straight.
The short race. That's why Den decided to run it, but with these cautions and his disabilities, stamina is always a problem. You have no idea what he has to go through. This is if not his favorite, one of his favorite tracks. And he has got this thing down. Got to keep praying for him. Hope he make it to the end and get a good finish.
One of the Will Farmer fan club asking why they keep going to the apron. Well, that is legal here. This is not a super speedway, so you can go down there, but you go down at your own risk because of how it changes the spotter behavior. But the Simple answer is it's just a shorter way around the track, which is a little bit faster.
Like my dad used to say, racing is simple. About getting from point A to point B faster than everybody else, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to straighten out that corner. Whether it gains a lot is, you can debate that, because you lose some with upsetting the car and also your angle, entry angle into turn 1.
Yeah, I don't really like to go down there until, it's go time. But Isaac lives down there, so he's just going to keep going.
I like the way Isaac's doing it, and Bill too, because they're not clipping it. They're definitely defining their early entry where the angle is less, and it upsets the car less coming in and out of it, because you can see the camera changes. The inside is off camera, and the outside is positive camera.
Now let's ride on board with those guys as they hit it next time by. There we go. On the right side, you're on board with Bill Yarborough. Oh, Doris checking in. Yeah, I'm sorry, Doris, but Slim got caught up in a first lap wreck. His engine was conked out. It took them over a minute to get the car fixed up, so he retired knowing that his car wasn't going to run very well.
There comes Dan Irvine down low on Bill. See that from the in-car.
Yeah, see it got him.
Once you get forced to the outside. Obviously, with all that work they did on the 3, the car is still really good. It's starting to show that.
As I was saying before, I don't think he got hit in the nose, and that's what's helping him.
Gets passed back by Bill. I don't think so. Or maybe not. Side by side they come.
Let's say if 54 can get some draft help.
Three's getting a good one on the outside there. And one coming out at 2. Little tiny bobble coming out at 4. And Bill gets the run, but he can't. Don't stick it in there, son. And he doesn't. He just shows himself. These are pro racers. He knew what he was doing. Now he's got the 10 on his inside. You're seeing guys getting a run coming out of turn 2. Forcing guys outside, and there's nothing you can do. And then another guy gets you.
Yeah, they got 10 car. Dennis Chambers getting around.
Right there as Bill has to negotiate the outside lane. Great skill by the 54. Bill's going to want to tuck back in now and defend. All right, enough's enough. There you go. Stay down low and defend.
Yeah, he falls back in line. All good now.
You can't give that again, you see. 4 cars dust you right there, so what are you going to do now is defend. Plus, you want to stay in this draft. A few positions like that at this point, basically at the 3rd waypoint of this race.
Yeah, we didn't talk about fuel mileage here.
I didn't pay attention to when they stopped, so that's going to be happening in a while here.
I've got a notebook and pen on the desk for just that, and do I ever use it?
Hey,
no.
That's why you get the big bucks.
I said I don't use it.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Okay, last lap for Bill Yarborough, 30.317. Best lap, 30.188. So still a lot left in these tires, and along with this draft. Probably see a 2/10 fall up all the way around. I think it was somewhere around 29. So we're about halfway through a run, or close to halfway through a run. You're going to start to see tire dag here pretty soon.
And if there is right side damage to that 3 car, it's going to start coming into effect pretty soon as far as affecting the handling and the tire wear.
Yarborough's a veteran at P6 there. He's seen seen these guys take some aggressive runs and make good passes, but he let them by as efficiently as he could, which was very hairy, actually. That looks easy, folks, at home, but he had to position his car right up there against the wall, getting past.
Meanwhile, the 27 has retaken the lead from the 72, and Isaac falls back in line there, with the 3 cars still in third. 10 car, Dennis Chambers following the 72 down to the apron. Looks like 27 doesn't like to get down there.
Looks like he doesn't need to. Getting the lead, that's the pros and cons of that.
Well, I think what set off that whole chain reaction that cost Billy Yarborough all those spots was exactly what you talked about with upsetting the angle of the entry into turn 1. While we're riding on board, we heard his motor skip as he made the transition. It was really violent, and it put him at an odd angle, and he slid up the track, and that started that chain reaction. As Isaac Johnson, on the other hand, like I said, he lives down there. He goes right back down, takes that lead back. We're starting to talk about fuel mileage. You're going to be looking at the 32 to 34 lap range here at a 1.5 mile track. Yep. Meanwhile, once again on board with Billy Yarborough as he watches this battle between the 10 and the 3 car for the 3rd spot.
Sees the guy coming up on the inside. Knows he's not going to make that move. Got to show it to the 3 here, but back off again. You know the 3's got to cut you down to make that angle, so you can't stick it in there. But once again, he has to get out of it, and he loses the spot. But that's still smart racing by Billy Yarborough right there. That's why he has so many great results. It's not smoke and mirrors, it's hard driving.
Yeah, your top 6, meanwhile, are about to officially, they have officially checked out on the rest of the pack.
And Billy Yarborough's going down pit road.
Billy Yarborough pitting early.
Slamming it down in the 2nd gear. Right at the mark, great stop. 45 miles an hour, your top speed. He's at 44. Get a short pit. We're off sequence, so...
They've got a couple other cars leaving pit road right now. Those must have been some of the cars that stayed out earlier.
So we're going to see more cars. More tires for the Realtree Chevrolet.
As the field goes by to lap Brad Otto one more time. Tough luck tonight with that. I think he dropped out right in the middle of that last accident.
Off clean. Bill Yarborough exiting pit road. That's a good stop with nobody around you. Looking at the scanner, nothing. Okay, here we go. Well, 29. He's a back marker, though.
Yeah, 29 heavily damaged in 2 accidents.
These are all back markers so far. So you're going to expect one more lap and then you're going to see leaders. These guys are probably could barely hold on to the wheel with 2 hands. And here we go. Mark DeSenza pitting. Then Francisconi. Isaac Johnson, your leader, is pitting. Box, box, box. If this stays green, this is going to be a huge move for Bill Yarborough. He's battling with also the 109 and 95 have also had that same strategy.
Yep, they had fallen out of the lead draft. They pitted together. They came out together. And you see what a difference that made for them.
Well, and Bill gets to hook up with them, but that tells me them pitting sooner even helped them more as far as lap times. However, Bill's got way fresher tires and more fuel.
Oh, they were coming off pit road as he was pulling into it, so they pitted 1 lap ahead of him.
Oh boy, Biscayne is grabbing
72
that
is
thing
down
with
and
two
away.
hands. Bill Yarborough all out of the back of the Kachinga. Smoke coming out of pit road as Ed Fowler exits. No harm, no foul, no blood. How will this recycle? Still cars out.
Looks like
Hoping for a
currently
caution.
the 10 car has stayed out and still in the lead. Oh, 10 car on pit road now.
That was the gamble, you know. I mean, might as well. Could have been. But you have green flag stops there, so. And no mistakes. Pro racing.
So we're going to call that lap 50 to 53 for these pit stops.
That means you can split it a little in two.
Yes, if we just figure 32 on average,
You're
without
thinking
any
what,
saving.
28 or
Yeah, we're right at the
27?
halfway mark here.
If it stays green.
If it stays green, we can make this in 1 more stop, right?
Yep. So after the stops, a little warmer P5 right
Whoa!
in the mix. Oh, this is
Goodness. Did you see the 10 car getting loose coming up to
Henson
speed here?
in 3. Chambers in 2nd, even after staying out that long, but he's getting
Eaten
freight
alive.
That's okay. Could be worse. He made a gamble and still stayed with the lead pack.
Yep, he kept the lead draft.
He
He
could have won
saved
the
the car.
race right there, so why not? Look at this gaggle. They told me that BS it before the race. We're going to try to put a good show on for you, Monster. And I go,
Well,
you
here
guys
it
all,
is.
you guys do it every week, so.
Meanwhile, Isaac Johnson has yarded this group. He is 4.5 seconds ahead. Ken Hansen is listed as 2nd place right now.
Hanson under the apron.
What happened to Dan Irvine? Did Dan Irvine have a penalty? He must have, because he is tail end of the lead lap. In fact, going down a lap right now to Isaac, or trying. Isaac's trying to get him down a lap. Will Farmer around hard into the wall on his lid. Bill Yarborough collected on the front stretch. And Isaac Johnson around coming back to the caution.
Oh my gosh.
What on earth just happened there, folks?
Wow.
Well, first things first, we'll show us what happened with Phil Warmer here. Looks like, oh, the 3 wiggle. Wow, this is like a chain reaction here. Bill reacted to that, lost it, collected Bill Yarborough. So that was just a chain reaction there.
Will tried to stay off the 3, and he had to turn the wheel a little bit more, and then it kind of got just a hair loose, or it could have been the air off the 3. No, he just got a little bit loose, and then lost it right behind him.
Meanwhile, ahead of them, as the caution flies, Isaac Johnson catches the apron,
so
slides
right
up the
there.
track.
He did not want to get into the 3 and got into him.
Yeah, Isaac Johnson goes for a spin down the backstretch. 55 Evan Castle pounds the inside wall in reaction. Right on board with Evan Castle as he drove into that. So he just jumps out of it and nails the brake to miss Isaac and ends up killing the car on the inside wall. So Isaac had not yet taken the caution when he went around there. He looks like he was just running really hard trying to keep the 27 a lap down, which was going to get him the lucky dog anyway. And, yeah, just that apron and around it goes. Yeah, Jeff Hale couldn't keep off him. No fault of Jeff's there. I think Isaac might be okay, though. Looks like he didn't actually hit anything. Another potential spin and win there. Yeah, so that's the insanity that unfolded there.
Wow, he just lost it. Watch it go. And a 360, and away we go. My gosh, oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk to my sponsor, Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Okay, well, and through all that, because Isaac was so far ahead, he maintains the lead with Rick Bisconner second. Dennis Chambers listed third. Dan Jones has moved himself up to fourth through all that, and Dan Irvine is fifth, despite being tail end of the lead lap when the accident occurred. So that was crazy. Now, looks like your lucky dog should be Bill Farmer, I do believe. Getting the 06 back on the lead lap here. Here the car is clutching, saving a little fuel here under caution.
Oh, Will, man. Tough luck, bro.
Yeah, Will was on his roof there for a bit, up against the wall. Glad to see that roll cage did its job. Man, tough break there. Looked like you just reacted to the 3 wiggle in, and it was on from there.
Yeah, I saw the 3 wiggling, so I let up a little bit, and then because I wasn't sure if he was gonna like come down or what, and I don't know. It was very fast. It was about 170 miles per hour. So, I mean, looking at it in the replay, maybe I should have just kept driving. But at that speed, when I was looking at it in the replay at like 6 times slow mo, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have just kept going, but I didn't know at the time.
It's a bang bang thing. It looked like he was about to come down across your nose, so I totally understand. And as soon as you jump out of the throttle and try to react, your car,
reaction, yeah.
Your car jumps out.
Well,
we're back to green.
My car jumped out,
I mean,
and then
the main thing was you were strong and you were right up there, and you had a chance to win this race. Those are all the things. When you get dusted out of a race, those are the positive things you look at.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race for sure. I wish we could have, obviously stayed in a little longer, but it's all right. You know what happens. Yeah, I got a little loose, and then obviously I was slowing down, and then I went up into the wall. And sorry to Bill Yarbrough, who was behind me, who unfortunately got into that. But
yeah, that's the broadcaster jinx striking there, as Milt did have the 54.
I was at least able to. I was at least happy to see that I only took him out. I saw there was a couple guys behind me that could have gotten in that as well. So I'm glad. If anything, I'm sorry to him, but at least I didn't take out a whole field.
Yeah, whenever your car starts to go around in front of the field, it's one of the sickest feelings.
It is.
Well, that's racing, I mean, you could be like playing with robots, but what fun is that? Sometimes you wreck people. Bob Dixon in 7th there after spinning early, getting some damage. Still very, very impressive there.
Yeah, I don't think he actually got damage in that.
The racer's edge.
Meanwhile, Isaac Johnson's still in the lead. He spun the second that caution came out, but he had such a big lead that he's held on to it and still there with Rick Bisconer.
Yeah, how about Rick Bisconer?
He's having a great run tonight.
He's been strong all night, absolutely.
Yeah, he's having a great run. That's great to see for him. And actually, he's on the outside of Isaac, it looks like.
Dan Jones following Isaac to the apron, though. Remember, Dan and Isaac are teammates this season.
Yeah, I know.
So it looks like he's going to try and help get up there on the bumper of Isaac.
Yeah, Tuesday night, Isaac, Shawn, and Dan Jones seem to always use their teammate powers as an advantage in the Super Speedway series that we race.
Whoa, boy, they're trying to get around Chet Markin. Fowler and Chambers going at it, following Irvine.
Isaac pushing up the track. Bisconer, guess got a little loose, got way down lower than he wanted to.
What happened to Dan Irvine? Well, here he is again.
Hey, he's back. He must have had a penalty on that pit road sequence. Had him on the tail end of the lead lap.
Didn't get flustered, and here he is.
But yeah, the Tuesday night series hasn't gone great for me personally,
this
but
stuff's starting to ramp up here, boys.
But yeah, Dan and Isaac are very close for the points lead there. Me and Nick have taken the brunt of the bad luck at Pony Express this season. Ooh, Dan was way loose there, right in front of Dennis Chambers. Oh, Bob Dixon catches the wall off 4.
Whoa, they're looking really close together there. Ed Fowler, Dan Irvine, Dennis Chambers, and the 007. Yeah, and we got Rick Castle coming up, chewing on my teammate Ed Fowler's bumper.
Castle's been solid all night.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know if it looks like it or not, but these guys are racing for every single spot on that racetrack. And I'm not even I was hoping that maybe
10 car in the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Chambers off the wall.
I was kind of hoping, maybe some of these guys will just stay in line, clock some laps down. They are not doing it.
Rick Castle, loose end to the apron. Hangs on to it.
What a save.
What a save by Rick, and what a great heads-up job by everybody around him to not just run straight up his tailpipe. That is scary.
I wouldn't be able to do that save, as we've seen earlier.
We ask to your point, exactly. These guys are racing hard.
These guys are racing hard, and again, they're racing for every single spot. You got Dan Irvine up in 4th. And he, like you said, Shawn, I think you're right. He started from the back of the field.
Irvine, yeah, well, he was tail end and got himself back on. He's been racing for the lead the whole night, and then somehow in the pit stop sequence, he came out tail end of the lead lap behind Isaac, or just ahead of Isaac.
10 car's looking high on the 6, and I'll tell you what, the 10 car's been running great on that high line, it seems. He was able to get a nice couple runs on me.
29, Jeff Hale has been in several incidents tonight, innocent bystander in all of them, and he's still hanging tough there in the 8th spot behind Dennis Chambers.
Irvine down low in the 007.
There's
Lap
racing
times
everywhere.
Lap times have been slower. Let's see what he hits at the line here. Yeah, 30.3. His best laps 29.9 when they were riding around. So they're all battling and slowing each other down a little bit. What are these leaders going to do? Are they going to try to get single file and gap these guys?
I haven't seen any evidence of that all night long.
There's a pass for the lead, and it's Rick Visconner.
And you know Isaac Johnson does not want to be driving around in the 2nd place position.
Yeah, negative.
I think we could all attest that. Fowler's looking to the inside of the 007, trying to pick up another spot. That would bring him into 4th place if he could complete the pass, and it looks like he did, bringing him up into 4th place.
Yeah, and speaking of cars that have been in incidents tonight, why am I stuck on the pace car? Darn it. Ed Fowler has had his share. Alright, I'm having issues here. For some reason, the pace, whenever I accidentally tab to the pace car, it just latches onto it and I can't get off of it.
Oh,
violently.
Ed Fowler drives way down.
Where on the 72, and he gaps everybody.
Where did the 05 come from?
Yeah, I was starting to say Ed Fowler has been in several dust-ups tonight, and the car seems to be no worse for the wear, as he is all over the bumper of the 27 right now.
This is an incredible show. We got some hot shoes doing it tonight.
Yes, we do. How are you doing, Sammy? What got you out of the race there? I know you took the start.
My throttle stuck twice. Again, this is this week, and I'm not sure what's causing it. It might be a lip on the back of my desk, so we're going to check that out.
Oh,
I cut that off.
It's coming. There is a Sawzall ready to take care of that little piece. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a back piece of the desk. And I think it got stuck on it, and I'm going to check it out later. But I'm just too impressed with this show. I mean, they're putting on one heck of a battle. I was watching the replays before. I almost forgot to give Bull Farmer the lucky dog.
Yeah.
Well, I got size 13, so, I took a Sawzall and just cut the back of the desk out.
I think that might be a good idea.
My desk is actually a table.
Circle out of there.
So, there is no back to mine.
I'll tell you that Rick Visconner is trying to utilize that high line tonight, and if you watch him, you know where he learned that, right?
That high line can work wonders at this track tonight, especially in the first couple laps of the run. It seemed for me personally, in the first laps, you could almost floor it going in that high line, as compared to the low line where you definitely have to lift. So, Dennis Chambers looking down, and he gets right by the 109. The 109 seems like he went a little too high.
Yeah, he pushed up, and that's going to cost him lots of spots.
That seems to be the trend, though. It's like guys get behind, they get a great run with the setup. The setup is stable, but so you're getting to see a lot of passing.
Fowler now
action,
up to 4th.
just what we want to see.
And by the way, at lap 80 here, lap 80 of 107,
Come
we
on,
are
smart brother. What's our
in the
pit
window. We're in the window.
27 would be your number, so absolutely, this is right there. Looking at the scanner, we see nothing yet.
Well, the way that Isaac took off and managed a 4-second lead on that last pit stop, I don't even know we want to pit under green anymore.
I would want to pit before him under green, because that's...
You might be the best bet, because this cat
That's
can
what
pit.
then,
He can pit. Watch him go. He will grab 3 or 4 seconds on you on that pit stop.
I believe Fowler might be best on fuel.
We got
29.
pit stops, 29.
29 is on the scanner, pitting.
29 is not in the lead pack, though, along with everybody else.
He was.
Let's see if we can get some footage of this pit stop here from the leader. Let's follow the 72 and see what he does.
The 72 posted?
72 is not posted yet.
Not yet, but
29 posted, right?
29.
Yes.
Yeah, 29 was the first to post.
Running the back bumper of Dennis Chambers going down into the turn.
But get ready here. Let's watch the 72 pit. Let's go through a full sequence when he's ready. I'll watch the scanner and let you know.
I'll tell you what, these guys in this front pack don't look like they're looking to pit. It looks like they're looking to gain more spots on this racetrack. They are driving hard, very hard. Going.
Nothing yet?
Yeah, I would want to split this last run in half. I can't remember what lap exactly they took the green on.
It's right, they're right there, so...
See, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be one of these cars is going to call it, and then everybody else is going to
It's going to be monkey see, monkey do, either the 72, 27, or 10.
Yeah, they don't want to, though, because they're worried somebody's going to take a chance and blow it, and the caution's going to come out.
If you guys are watching this front pack, I'm not sure if you are,
Yes,
they are still passing 007s, looking at the 05. The 27 just made a move on the 10 car. They're still making the move. And the 109 is back in action.
109's looking high on the 007 again, but looks like he'll think better of that into turn one.
Still nothing on the scanner. They're racing like they're not thinking about pit stops.
This is great. I mean, this could turn out to be incredible or disastrous, one or the other.
Nothing
You have to
on the
remember
scanner.
that, you know, with one mess up, one slight jerk of the wheel the wrong direction,
Everybody pays.
And not only does everybody pay, but your race is done for the night. This hour and a half or 2 hours, if you went to practice, that you spent here tonight is just done for. Even
Absolutely.
if you come up on this turn and you hit that wall,
Box,
you brush that wall.
We got the leader in pit road.
All right, here comes
We got
72.
the 27.
Can't mess up this pit
Let's
stop
follow
either.
the leader down pit road.
And everybody's going with them. The 99, the double.
We
the
got cars
05.
lighting up. Oh, off into the grass goes Isaac. Did he make the commitment line?
That's going to be close. The 9
Right
car, I
there.
believe. 9 car pounded the wall, missing all these cars pitting.
Everybody else behind him executed perfectly.
So that's not going to do him any favors. Ken Hansen in the 9 cores machine.
Dan Irvine's going to get that number one stall. 27 Miller. Pontiac. Buick? Yeah, Buick. Come on, son. Come on.
Ooh, Isaac's...
Two tires.
Because the
Behind
broadcast is...
Isaac,
The
he's
replay
behind
shows
him.
Isaac totally losing it and managed to keep it. I don't know how he did
And
it.
Isaac gets the spot.
Yeah, but is he going to get penalized?
But is he going to get penalized for exceeding track limits there on pit entry?
Because I just watched it again, because the broadcast
27
in my
pushing
left
it
monitor
hard.
is on a
But
delay.
the 72
and I
pushing it harder.
saw how badly he missed that commitment line by. He's running low down the backstretch.
Nothing. Looking on at the scanner.
Scanner doesn't seem like
He's
nothing.
not serving a penalty that lap.
Nothing.
The real question is, where is everybody else?
Told you that kid will get 3 or 4 seconds on you on
Rick
that pit stop.
Pisconer is listed as
All-
your leader.
All the great drivers.
And here he
The
comes. Here
Matt
comes Pisconer.
Watkins, the Rick Johnsons.
I can't say it enough, Milty. Can't
The
say it enough.
72
Practice,
pit
practice pitting.
stops. Pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevin Lewis.
practice,
Pit
practice,
stops.
practice.
I've said it a few times before myself that when I got here, I was getting waxed on these green flag stops. So I spent literally an entire weekend doing nothing but pitting. Just pit, pit, pit. I had a notebook, laid out every possible scenario I could think of, and practice on every type of track, every
car-
wear state, every scenario, 1 can, 2 cans, 2 tires, etc.
Still got
Right.
cars out. The 9, the 127,
10?
trying to bring it out. And
10
the
car
10,
is shown in 6th.
The
I'm
10
sorry,
is leading. He needs a caution. He needs it.
Rick Pisconer pitted from the lead, and you see he's going to come out. He's already had 4 cars pass him. He's going to come out a distant 5th
Without
at
the
least.
draft last lap, 31-3, best lap 30. .096 for the 10. Some guy's in the 29, so he's losing a second a lap.
It looks like the 007 and the 27 might have broken away from Ed Fowler there, so he will be lonesome and probably begging for that caution flag to come out.
Absolutely.
6 pitting, 16 pitting.
Yeah, I've been talking about Den Francisconi for a while. He's running a solid 14th, last car on the lead lap, but he's there. He's on the lead lap, and he's pitting right now with the 6th car of John Doucette. Yeah, Isaac's out there by himself, and he's got 2 cars drafting up to him.
Your leader is pitting.
The 10's not the leader anymore. The 10 is in 6th spot.
He's in
I have
first place.
I have him in first place, too.
He's in first place.
Okay, then the ticker has stopped updating.
Yeah, ticker's stuck.
10 and the 9 stays out. He's going to stay out one more lap and hope. He's got Brad drafting, but the 9's probably going to have to stop. He's probably going to be out of gas. Let's see, look on the scanner. 10 down pit road. What's the 9 going to do? 9 is pitting this lap. Course Ford. They took their gamble.
But once all these cars finish pitting and the lines reassemble here, it'll be the 72, the 27, the 007 with the 05 in 4th place, and the 109 behind them.
124 exiting pit, so these guys, 10 exiting pit. Where does he come out?
He's going to probably come out.
With only 12 laps to go, these guys got a huge advantage. He laid his bed on his first stop and hoping for not green, but he's right there. But he's gonna cycle in back from the pack.
How about look up front here? The 27 and the 007, Shawn, if you're catching this, have caught up to the 72 car.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
And they are right back on his bumper.
With the draft, yeah, you lose a ton. Yep.
With, a little over 10 laps to go. Do tires become a question, 72 might have been able to ease back a little bit, maybe not run the throttle as hard going through turn 4, whereas the 27 and the 007 have had to push to just get a chance at the lead.
Hey, Milt,
exactly.
Tires play a factor.
That's a great call, and he can dictate this race now. He's got the air on his nose, and he's in the draft. He's sitting on a sack of seeds right now.
Yeah, but we got somebody back there that's going to ask you a question, Milt. You think I'm going to talk?
You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to win. Well, and he knows this. This season, he's showed up in the under caution and talked and been pretty chill about his season, even though he's run good. But I think he's sitting in a position right now where he doesn't want to talk right now. He wants to try to win this race.
Yeah, he's got his hands full. Well, I tried to fix the standings ticker. It's updating the laps, but it's not updating the standings, so I don't know why.
That's a race LM deal.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that
you gotta stand
one of
that
the trees,
draft.
not the other.
Is he trying to give himself a couple laps to cool his tires down and then make a huge run? I think so. He knows.
Or is he just fading? As the 27,
27's looking low.
Coming up on a lap traffic with a Brad Otto, too.
They caught the lap car Brad Otto, and that changed the behavior of the 72, and he got a little tighter than he was used to getting in there.
See the 27 using the air from the 31 car to not have to take the apron.
Wow.
That's a pick.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
72 pushing up.
The 27 does down low. They're side by side going down the back stretch. They touch.
There's plenty of time. Isaac can do the same thing here. Isaac needs to not fight too hard on the outside, or maybe not. I don't think so. Because all of a sudden he's bringing some speed on the outside we haven't seen before.
Manages to keep it.
And he keeps it. Wow.
Well, he had some serious draft help from the 007. Even though he doesn't look like he's right up there, he's still within a half second, and Dan choosing to go with Isaac's line through the front stretch certainly helped him.
Well, as far as I know, they haven't put PJ1 up on that outside groove. You know, they call it many things. Stick 'em, lick 'em, whatever, but...
Guys,
I like to think when you think of PJ, you think of Parnelli Jones. Yeah.
Guys, thanks for the broadcast. Great job, and I'm going to head back down to the garage. Thanks.
All right, Sammy.
All right, take care, Samwise.
Coming up on 5 to go. Everybody's going to try to make that move again.
I think if Irvine wants to make this pass, he's going to need the air of the 007, but will the 007 give it? I don't know.
I think Dan's tires have given up as he's tried to fight up here.
Yeah, he
to
just
get
really
up with them.
Seems tight, yeah.
He's getting bad aero tight going into the corners, and
that
and
also
just
might
can't hold
be
on.
that also might be good for the 27 car, you know?
Yeah, they're still close enough that air will have an effect.
More to go. As a driver, you're thinking right here, Will, I got to set this guy up. If I set him up with 2 laps to go, is it going to get me back, or do I need to try it right now, or do I need to wait for the last lap?
I think you're thinking, can I catch up to the 72 car? Can I make that move?
Well, he's all over the back of him right now, so...
Before 2 to go, he can't block, so that's one thing to take into consideration.
It's going to be 2 to go coming. I think he's waiting for 2 to go, and then he's going to drive it in there.
But can he make that pecker sticker, Milt?
I don't know, man.
Oh, he looks down the...
Ding!
Wow. He might have a nose in the one.
He's got it. He's got the...
Force it in there, but...
Whoa, the
Isaac's
72 drives up high.
Oh, and they're side by side.
They touch
and
again.
They touch. Isaac's had some contact the last few races. He doesn't want that again. This time he's on the outside. Irvine
the 27's pulling away. He's clear, but the 72 jumps back.
Tries to cross over.
And he blocks down low. This is the final lap.
No, one more, Melty.
Well,
yeah, just shot it. No, it is.
And the 72 is all over the 27. The 27, you know, is driving with his mirror.
72. You love to see that in your mirror, you know. All I gotta do is make this corner, and I win the race.
No, we got one more lap. This is the final lap. White flags in the air. See, no flags at the 72.
No, that's the...
Oh, was that the finish?
That was the last lap. Yeah, the ticker just lagged behind again. What happened to the 72 coming across the line?
I think he might have just cracked it. You know, that 72 Cars racing team, they got a lot of money. They've had a lot of race wins. You know, I think he might have just decided to total that car.
Gonna have to talk to the team boss about that one. Oh, wait a minute.
Dan Irvine, what a great pass. And, you know, for once, you guys were lost, and I knew what lap it was. And I've been drinking way more beer than you guys, so I guarantee that.
I blame Race RLM.
Burn it up, Dan. Come on. Dan Irvine is your winner. Have yourself a Miller. What a great race. What a great strategy. What a great... Look, that kid in that 72, he ain't no chump. And he pretty much along with the 27 dominated, but you see the 27 lead. But what could he do at the end? And Dan Irvine put the whole package together. We knew he was experienced, raced in many other leagues, got years of experience. Put it together here on Friday night. Friday nights are hard to win. I've never won one. Well,
all right, so
maybe,
since
maybe
the
I did.
yeah, I did one. So since the ticker's busted, I'll use the I know it says starting grid, but that's actually the official standings, because that's the scene I use for the qualifying break-in. So Dan Irvine's the winner. Isaac Johnson is second. Dan Jones brings a 007 home for the podium finish in third. Dennis Chambers fell back with that pit strategy, fourth place in the 10 car. Ed Fowler, strong top 5 run there in the 05. Rick Bisconer, again, tried some pit strategies, got it, ended up 6th. Ken Hansen with that right side knocked off after the pits. Finishes more than 11 seconds back in 7th. The 06 of Bill Farmer 8th, Pops Margison and Rick Castle rounding out your top 10. Den Francesconi with a strong 11th place run there in the 16 car.
Yeah.
The 43 of Bob Dixon perseveres for a 12th. John Doucette, your last car on the lead lap, lucky 13th there. Chet Barkin, 2 laps down. Brad Otto, 3 laps down. Rounds out your top 15. Then your retirees, Jeff Hale, Mark DeSenza, Bill Yarbrough, Will Farmer, who has joined us in the booth after his flip down the front stretch there. Evan Castle on the 55. Sam Young.
Call from the booth.
Jeff Habek, Slim Jim Gately, and Keith Cordier.
Oh, what could have been for the 10 car? Once again, you've seen the skill, but you've seen when he ran that first run, the first long run, he decided to stay out, and he made his bed right there. And there could have been many cautions timely for him, but it just wasn't to be. But that was still a good strategy. But that's how close professional racing and FSB is, and if it's not down for you, you're done, and that's the way it went for him. But
go play Tiddlywinks, right?
Go play Tiddlywinks.
All right, Milt, you want to go gather up our podium finishers there?
Yep.
So yeah, there's our points at least coming into the night. I don't know if it's been updated just yet. Let me go check on that. But that should stand with Isaac Johnson having more than a full race lead over Ken Hansen. That means he pretty much just has to show up for Bristol, and it's clinched. Let's see, that's still Darlington's results up there. So yeah, after tonight, that strong second place run, laps led, Ken Hansen falling back at the end, I'd say this one's pretty much wrapped up. As Will has left us, okay. Didn't realize I was all alone. Milty's gathering up our podium for us. As stated, we have 2 races left in this season, a 12-race schedule. The modified point system keeps it nice and close in a lot of these circumstances. And so we'll have Bristol and then Indy to wrap up the season. And we have our race winner, Dan Irvine, joining us already here. Dan, great run, man. I didn't pick you, so that's probably why you didn't get suffer the broadcaster jinx.
Yeah, I get that every once in a while. I think I get myself into more trouble than I need to. So
it looked like you managed to keep the car clean all night. That was the first key, and then just made some great moves there at the end, and a very tough track to pass on to get around. To get around Isaac Johnson. I think Milty actually just dragged the channel into the channel here. I'm gonna have to go fix that. Oh, there we go. He fixed it. He fixed it. All right. But yeah, great run, Dan. Tell us how it was out there for you, man.
Oh, that was awesome. I'm a big Chicagoland fan, and so it's one. I think it's because you like the track. I think it's one of your better ones.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, so still there. My headset's going a little weird here.
I heard a little fuzz, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's getting low on battery. Yeah, it was just awesome. Just awesome. I had a lot of help with my teammate John, he was spotting for me, let me know what was going on. So I just wanted that out. I'd like to dedicate this win to my dad. He's 80 years old. About a month ago, and he's battling colon cancer right now. We just found out. So he had surgery this past week.
Wow.
He's out, and he's going into chemo and stuff this coming week, or this coming month. I'm sorry. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and definitely our thoughts are with you and your family there.
Great courage and great tribute.
Losing you again.
Dad, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
But well, before Dan, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I just want to say that you guys are awesome up here in the booth. Thanks for doing this. FSB rules. I really enjoy running here. I don't get to run as much as I usually do in the wintertime because we're racing in real life. So we're on the road quite a bit.
Oh, awesome! Well, good luck with that, and again, best wishes to your family and your dad there in the battle ahead, and great job tonight.
Thanks, Shawn. I appreciate it. And
that's wonderful. And don't give up. Never give up. That's what Paul Newman told my dad. When he was dying of cancer. Of course, then Paul Newman died of cancer.
Right.
Sucks,
Yeah, we've had our share of that here in the FSB family, and
but you never give up, And what a great, courageous run, smart run. We've seen the skills that you have, Dan, but to be able to put it all together in a fantastic race with green flag stops and everything. I mean, you had to execute perfectly, and this wasn't like just your normal win. This was a win on a Friday night against
Isaac. Man, you had to make a move on Isaac there. That's not easy.
And pass for the win with a great over and under, and your track position throughout the night. You qualified on pole, then you went backwards. Just the whole race that you ran was so impressive. That's an ultimate win that you could have,
I appreciate it.
Move on before Dan loses his headset. Let's move on to our other Dan here, Dan Jones. Looks like Isaac left. I guess he had to go there. I know he's been working a lot lately. So Dan, man, did you have anything for him at the end, or was you just couldn't quite close the gap on the old tires?
I don't know why I couldn't catch him, but
your car seemed tight that last run. It just, when you came out of the pits, you just didn't have what they had. Their cars were just, you were pushing up, and you weren't, in my mind, watching you weren't overdriving the corners. The car just wouldn't turn.
Maybe the steering, the ratio. Maybe
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Part of it too is when you're one car trying to close that last little bit of draft gap to two cars, and you don't have someone behind you, that can be kind of tough. And you can probably use the front tires up a bit, and then once you do get to that bubble of air, it just won't turn. So still a great run. Nailed the pit stops. You were in position there to try and help Isaac a little bit, it looked like.
Yeah, I was trying to stay in his line, but there's not much opportunity when you can't get to his bumper.
Yeah, it just, you could see it, because I know you,
he burned out.
If you had a chance, you would have drove it in there, but you just couldn't even get close.
We had a plan, but he blew us all the way 6 seconds out of the pits, the green flag pits at one time.
Yeah, he nailed that, and then the Dan and Dan show had to run him back down.
Yeah, that was unreal. Good win to you, Dan Irvin, and sorry to hear about your dad.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Great job, everybody. Our podium finishers again, Dan Irvine, Isaac Johnson, Dan Jones. That was some exciting racing out there tonight for everybody there. And thanks for joining us. Yeah, welcome to FSB Friday night. Chicago's always a hot one, and tonight was no exception. So congrats to everybody on putting on a great show. Thanks for joining us out there in YouTube land, everybody that's checked in chat, or that haven't. I know I saw we had at least 11 watching at one point. Thanks as always, my partner Milt Jr. for doing what you do, making it possible for me to look at the buttons and stop talking for a little bit now and then.
Yeah, thanks, Milt. Thanks, Shawn.
Can't do this without Milty. That's why I drove last week instead, because it's just too much dead air otherwise. But that was fun to finally get a start in at Darlington last week.
One of your favorite tracks.
Yeah, my absolute favorite tracks. Love that. And we're finishing out with a couple of my other favorites with Bristol and Indy. So that should be a good show to wrap up the season. Thanks, as always, our series sponsor, Bill Farmer and Farmer Brothers Contracting, putting up the hardware. Ryan Johnson, our admin, on vacation this week. We had Sammy filling in, who's also our league owner and promoter. And once again, signing off for our podium finishers, Dan Irvine, Isaac Johnson, Dan Jones, and for Milt Minter Jr., I'm Shawn Reap saying goodnight for FSB Racing Live.